morning, everyone. So we're going to see what the first Eight of Cups would like to say. And while we're doing that, I want to say thank you, everyone, for your donations and your private readings. They've been amazing. The information is in the description box. So it looks like the relationship went from being pretty steady and balanced to a lot of conflict and judging. Wow. Side message, some of the fighting came from miscarriage. Yeah. It looks like that another side message is there's a third party. Okay, I see. So, third party or some kind of addiction. Okay, so it looks like that there may have been, there's wondering what happened and trying to move on. Because it started out really nice and then ended with a lot of fighting and then just ended. And there are several reasons. There's several side messages, so not all of them can apply to you. If you want to get a private reading, then we can definitely get a one-on-one kind of thing here, because it's definitely, it's coming out weird and it's been kind of hard to read. So a lot of confusion for sure. And a lot of times when there's confusion, it's because somebody is lying. So you can feel something, and when you feel something that's different than you're hearing, and then your brain wants to go with what you're hearing, not what you're feeling, then that's where that confusion can come in. So, money is the first reason. If money went from being pretty balanced to not, then that's definitely going to be the reason why. I'm getting that Corona okay, we're talking about not the virus, okay, the virus, but what we're talking about is actually being at home. And when you're at home, that's when a lot of stuff started coming up because you can't run from your problems anymore. So if this is one of those situations where it kind of stuff blew up, it's because there were underlying things going on already that weren't being handled. Such as if there was a miscarriage and you guys never really healed from that. Or if there's a third party or an addiction. Or a mixed match of those things. We're also going to see what comes out. Regardless, it's over. If you think knowing what the root problem of that cause is going to help, then I would suggest a private reading, because then there's actually a lot more there going on than you're willing to admit to even yourself. Which that is confirmation for what I just channeled. So if you don't already know what happened in your heart, then it's because you don't want to admit it to yourself. You do know it's there. There's not some kind of mystical thing that you could have caught or you could have seen. There's nothing you could have done. It played out exactly how it's supposed to play out, and you're supposed to learn something from this so it doesn't happen again. And one of the main lessons you're supposed to learn from this is the fact that your partner isn't what's supposed to make you happy. You have to make yourself happy. And then you can have a happy relationship. Having someone save you doesn't work. It's not going to happen like that. And it might have started off pretty nice, sunshine and rainbows, but that can't last. Not unless you both are being honest with yourself and each other about everything. And that's a hard thing to do, and it's impossible to do if you're not being honest with yourself. So, let me get one more message. I'm trying a new setup here. I'm not quite sure how I'm liking it. Alright, let's see if we can get one more message from the Lord. I don't want to leave you on such a harsh turn, but you know, sometimes that's how things work out. Okay, so the main lesson here for you is to figure out what kind of relationship you need, what kind of relationship you want. Not one that looks good on the surface, or not one that you think could have potential. Potential doesn't get you anywhere if you're not honest about it. So if you had some kind of fantasy built up then this is a harsh reality check for you. To learn how to tell the difference between what you're projecting and what's actually happening. So good luck. Hi, number 2. So we're going to see what the second Eight of Cups would like to say. And I would like to say thank you, everyone, for your donations and your private readings. They've been amazing. And if you would like to donate or get a private reading, the information's in the description box. And we'll see what your cards say.
Coming?
Mm-hmm. Alright. Sorry about that. So where were we? Oh, yeah, just trying to figure it out. So, let's see if we can figure it out. Um, okay. If your significant other ran off with a younger model, she did not manipulate him or swindle him. They have hold on, before I get too far into that. Regardless, you feel like you got left in the cold. Yeah, you definitely feel like you got left in the cold. And I'm also getting this vibe of you feel like your significant other needs to take care of you. And they don't. It's not their responsibility. part of the reason that this didn't work out is because you weren't pulling your weight. So and I'm getting that's different for everybody, so it doesn't have to just be financially. It's not about that 100%. However, it is a large part of that because you weren't matching your partner in the relationship. For what they were putting in, they didn't feel like they were getting anything in return. And at least in this other relationship, she's got her shit together. She has her own money, she has her own life, and doesn't need him. Fix the genders as appropriate. Well, that's how it came out. Yeah. So, your lesson here for this whole experience is to take a rest, be single for a while, and work on yourself. Meaning, figure out what you want in life. Do you want to be happy? Then start doing things that make you happy. Do you want to be successful? Then start doing things that you feel in your heart are going to make you successful, for whatever that means. Because once you start feeling better, you start doing better, and then life starts getting better. Good luck. Hi, number 3. So let's see what the third 8 of Cups would like to say. And I'd like to say thank you for your donations and your private readings. They have been amazing. And if you'd like to, the information is down in the description box. And we'll see what your cards want to say. All right. So this is definitely one of those complete life-altering situations. You know, it's sometimes when things happen and you're just not the same after that. That's what this is. Big time. Now, this is supposed to spark a complete life change for the better. And at the moment, may not feel so good, but we'll see what else wants to come out. Okay, so you definitely feel like you got effed over hardcore. if you have not started a journal or writing about this event, you need to. That will be a huge life changing practice. If you don't know where to turn to your journal, notebook, and just start writing. Okay. And it still seems hard, but here's the deal. Change is hard. But if you're not changing, you're not evolving, you're going backwards. And I'm also getting that this is actually, well, hold on. Let me see what came out first. Yeah, huge transformation. Okay, so definitely a message twice about start writing. That's going to be your biggest healing friend. And if you don't know where to start with why do you feel like you got effed over? Or what happened? You're just gonna, as soon as you can just start that first sentence, it'll just go. And this could end up being one of your, superpowers. Maybe you've been thinking about or been told to start writing for a long time. And now the universe is putting you in a situation that if you really want to move on, start writing. You get the sun twice, so there's definitely, this is definitely a huge thing for you. Start writing about your feelings too, not just about the situation, but how you feel about it, why you feel that way about it. You gotta really start kind of getting deep. And when you get a little more comfortable with just writing, or even typing might be more comfortable, might not be, doesn't matter. But a big part of the writing is your emotions, trying to work through your emotions. And that'll help. And this is the start of something big for you. So, good luck. Hi, number 4. So let's see what the 4th Eight of Cups wants to say. And I'd like to say thank you, everyone, for your donations and your private readings. They've been amazing. And if you'd like to check it out, links are in the description box. And we will get to your cards. Looks like family split up. And there's been nightmares. Those nightmares are trying to actually help you work through the trauma. Nightmares have more of an impact on you, so you'll more likely to remember them when you wake up, and especially because it's a nightmare because it's something you're scared of. It's scary, but there is information in that dream. Now I'm not gonna. Well, actually, let's see what comes out. But what's gonna help is if you're honest about any kind of subject that gets brought up. The more honest, the more healing, the less nightmares, less shadows. And this is actually a journey of really finding your strength, finding the core of who you are. Are you one of those people that wants to sweep it under the rug and say whatever image you want to uphold? Or are you going to be honest and try to work through it together? If you have kids, like, okay, I'm getting here that kids are having nightmares and stuff. And if you're looking for help with them, be honest. And that means that you have to take responsibility for your part in it too. Which can be hard, but that's where that strength comes from. I'm getting that it was coming to an end no matter what. Side message. If you had an inkling about there being a third party situation, then you're right. So, this process is definitely supposed to be a very healing and building yourself back up into a better person, a better version of yourself. And through this process, it will actually bring a new love for yourself and for your kids. Kid. Getting one, but I mean, you can have multiple. So, and this whole thing is really supposed to bring you into your power. That is the main message here, is that this whole process of the splitting and then the trying to rebuild, you're rebuilding in and becoming the version of yourself that has always been kind of inside of there. And it starts with taking ownership of what happened in the relationship and being honest with your children. And I'm not saying you have to give them every gory detail, but don't lie. I mean, I know that sounds kind of counterproductive there, where you're trying to withhold, but I'm saying that you can answer them honestly and not have to spill your guts out to them, because that's not their job. Your job's to figure out your emotions and then to help your children figure out theirs. So, yeah, this is definitely, and don't hold on to the anger, because that will leak through on everything, and that anger isn't going to do anybody any good, including yourself. And if you're angry right now, that's understandable and that's fine, but you need to work through that anger. You need to release it in some fashion, and if that means writing it down and burning it, or having some kind of ritual where you burn all of his stuff. I don't know. I'm not that type, but some people are. Some people need that kind of catharticism. So don't hold on to what little bit you think might be left of this situation. You need to let it all go, clean it all out, start really fresh from the inside out. And that's really where you're going to be able to find your inner strength, your power, and build a life that is good, that you want for yourself and for your kids. Good luck. And number 5. So let's see what the 5th Eight of Cups would like to say. And I'd like to say thank you, everyone, for your donations and your private readings. They've been amazing. And if you'd like to check it out, links are in the description box. And we will get to your cards. I'm not sure, but don't elephants mate for life? Because I'm... Okay, you thought that this was going to be your mate for life, and they left. Them going out on their own is supposed to spark you into finding your own happiness, because your partner shouldn't be the one making you happy. Now, you can experience happiness with another person, and you can get attached to that person because you've experienced that with them. But if you're not actually listening to that person and what they need and helping to take care of those needs, they're going to take care of those needs elsewhere. Period. Especially if the whole point of the relationship was to make you happy. And drinking's not going to solve your problems. I know it hurts, and you might think drinking makes it feel better, but it's just making it worse. Stalking and following around isn't going to help you move on either. So, until you can accept the fact that it's over, and you're going to have to take care of yourself, you're not going to be able to move on from all of these feelings that you're having. And you're not going to be able to get back into touch with a happier version of yourself until you can work through this. And this isn't something that you can work around. You got to work through it. So, while you're drinking, start writing. Start writing down how you feel, what went wrong, and maybe take a look at your part in the relationship too. And take responsibility for your neglect. And not just for that person, but to yourself. Good luck.